Let's get smashed. I mean, no, wait. Do you want to smash? That's still not it. Do you want to grind meat? No. Do you want to make some hamburgers? All right, so we're gonna be making smash burgers. It could be as basic as you getting some hamburger from the grocery store, or you can be a little extra, but still conservative by making your own hamburger. So there it is, 6.5 pounds that was cut off of the brisket that I made last week. It could have been in the garbage, but I'm gonna be using it through this grinder that I put in the freezer for about an hour to get it nice and cold. As you can see, it's starting to condensate because recording takes forever. It's as simple as turning this thing on, sending some chunks in there. I'm gonna be using the medium mesh grinder. I've used the larger one before. The hamburgers seem to fall apart a little bit more, so I'm trying with the medium today. It's fairly simple. All I'm gonna do is take this, send it through, and then I'm gonna shove my meat down in there. While this is running, you're barely gonna be able to understand me because it's kind of loud. So I'll see you on the other side. All right, if my kid would stop yelling in the basement, I could record the rest of this video. Leave your comments down below. All right, let's go through the simple ingredients that we're gonna need to smash. Usually it's a prophylactic. Pretty simple. I'm gonna be using brioche buns. You got to do American cheese if it's a smash burger. I'm gonna be a little bit extra on top of me grinding my meat all over you guys. I'm gonna be using Pinconning, or however the hell you say this, cheese. On top of the American cheese, we're gonna be frying in smoked beef tallow, because why the hell wouldn't you? And then the only thing that should be topping this other than your cheese is mayo. You can be fancy and make your own. You're probably not going to, or use Hellmann's, because I find that to be the best. All right, the process is fairly simple. We're gonna grab a ball of this, we're gonna roll it up, not to compact it too much, because when you go to fry it, all it's gonna do is tighten up, and then you won't have a good eating experience. So from there, I'm gonna take the cast iron, heat it up, melt some tallow in there, and then we're gonna move forward by taking the ball of meat, putting it in the pan, smashing it, making sure that we get brown, crispy edges all the way around the outside, seasoning it, flipping it over, throwing cheese on it, putting the lid over it to melt the cheese, and let the frying continue. Brioche buns. They're basic, but I'm not Joshua Weissman. I don't know how to bake bread. Every time I do it, it comes out like dense and thick. That's how I like it. Let's toast these buns, ladies and gentlemen. Mostly ladies. Okay. See how that's toasty and crunchy and crispy? Okay, I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna set it, yeah. Next up, the hamburger. I'm not gonna weigh each burger because that's too much effort. Just gonna grab a bunch of meat, about a handful, gonna ball it up, get your paddles nice and oily because you don't want your meat sticking to them. All right, I've had that problem a couple times in my day. Grab your ball with your paddles, take it, plop. All right, take both of these. Maybe I should use a smaller spatula. It'd fit in there a little bit better. Sometimes larger isn't better. Sometimes you need the small guy just to, get into the right spots. These large guys are good for, just plowing it down there, but this little guy will help get in the crevasses that the big guy just couldn't do it. You know what I mean? It literally just broke. Back with a different one. This one's not broke, but it doesn't grind as big as the other one does.
That's what she said. No time. What she did. No time.
Make the burger know that you've been there, you know? Oh, it kind of fell apart. That's fine when it comes to a smash burger, because what's gonna happen is the cheese is gonna hold this thing together. Do a quick little seasoning, not too much. You've already done the other side. Don't get crazy. Like the American cheesy. There's a flavor out of this cheese. Very sharp, unlike my wits. And you cover. Let that cheese melt. If you don't have a torch, use a lid. If you have a lid, get a torch. All right. Now that the hamburger is finishing, I'm melting that cheese. Let's get that white sauce all over my buns. Wait, your bun. Someone. Top it. Make sure to book match your buns. Otherwise, you're an uncivilized human being and we can't be friends. Since my cousin is going to be eating this, I am going to split it in half because I don't want to waste food on those people. Okay then, we're going to be eating this hamburger. On my left, I have my cousin Carlo. Introduce yourself.
Hello.
Don't be rude.
How are you?
And then Alicia, his wife, begrudgingly, is on camera because my son decided he wanted nothing to do with this. He doesn't want to be famous. Not that we'll ever be famous. Here we go. I want you guys to smash, or no. I want you guys to eat my smash. Just eat the hamburgers.
All right. That's so good.
You don't have to lie to the people. I mean, they know better by now. What do you think of it being brisket?
That's good.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So much flavor.
So much grease. I should have gotten them napkins, but I suck at this. All right, I see that you guys are working through this. I need you to tell the audience how orgasmic it is in your mouth.
It's unreal. Very good. Packed with flavor. And it's that tender, but has that crisp. It's one of the best burgers I've ever had, in all honesty.
And the cheese is perfect.
He said that to me off camera before.
This is the truth. And that's why I knew when he was doing this, I was here.
Since he said it off camera, and he doesn't really like me that much anyway, I'm pretty confident he meant it. Carlo, what would you say was the best part of the hamburger?
It's the burger itself. It's juicy. Like I said, it's juicy. It's crispy, but it's tender. It's very hard to describe. It's very just packed with flavor. Tons of flavor. Like, I guess you can compare it to like a Culver's sear, but I mean, that's blasphemy to even compare it to. It's just very, very good. It's probably one of the best burgers I've ever had.
Would you say it's the meat or the process? What would you say?
I mean, the meat, it's a different flavor all on its own. It just doesn't, yeah, it's hard to compare it to anything unless you try it. Like, you can't really compare it. It's very, very good. Very rich and very good.
See, honey, I told them that they wouldn't know the difference if the meat was sitting in the fridge for like 3 weeks. Anyway, moving on. Alicia, what is your thoughts?
I really like the fact that it is seared. It is very crispy, but it's juicy at the same time. I like the mixture of the two cheeses. It really just brings it together, and then the deliciousness of the brioche bun, for sure.
All right.
The mayo does let it pop a little bit too. Adding the mayo, it's very like, it's subtle, but it adds something to the burger as well. But honestly, you could probably go just patty and like cheese if you wanted, or just patty alone. It's really, really good.
Well, I hope you guys get your smash on. That's what's up. There's a backstory to this. And yes, it has to do with an adult store. Anyway, we're gonna move past that. Smash that like button. Like, share, subscribe. Tell your friends about me. Tell them how I smash.
Don't tell your children.
They don't need to know. This isn't for them. It's not for them. I'm gonna need you to go ahead and check out my merch store. I don't sell this hat. I'm gonna talk to some people, maybe I will. I don't know. Do you wanna smash? I think you do. If you wanna smash with me, I'll sell you a hat. But check out my merch store at smokewarehouse.com. You can get some awesome shirts like this with the logo over your tit. Or this awesome, I lost all of my briskets in a boating accident. And from here on, it's pretty simple. You grab a handful, you ball it up, don't over mush your meat. How do you say that without it being creepy?
Overpack.
Yeah. That's it. Nailed it. Don't overwork your meat. There's no way of saying that without it sounding fucked up. Okay. Fuck. If you overwork your meat, if you overpack your meat, it's just, your burger is gonna be taut and tight. Fuck. All right, so what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna take a handful of this meat and you're gonna roll it up into a ball. And you don't wanna You don't wanna overwork your meat because it's too funny. Okay, make sure not to compress the meat too much because then when you fry it, your meat's gonna tighten up and it's gonna tighten up in the mouthfeel. It's not gonna be right. Happily married. That's what my wife tells me. She's holding the camera. You guys have no idea how deep this rabbit hole goes.
That's what she said. That's what she said. That's what she said.